God.
Yes.
So he that have an ear this morning, let him hear, because the Spirit is speaking to you, what the Spirit of the Most High God says. Come read this.
The Lord is my light and my help. Whom should I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom shall I dread? When evil men assail me to devour my flesh, it is they, my foes and my enemies, who stumble and fall. Should an army besiege me, my heart would have no fear. Should war beset me, still would I be confident.
Yes.
One thing I ask of the Lord, only that do I seek, to live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, to frequent his temple. He will shelter me in his pavilion on an evil day. Grant me the protection of his tent. Raise me high upon a rock. Now is my head high over my enemies round about. I sacrifice in his tent with shouts of joy, singing and chanting a hymn unto the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry aloud. Have mercy on me. Answer me. In your behalf, my heart says, seek my face, O Lord. I seek your face. Do not hide your face from me.
Face to face.
Do not thrust aside your servant in anger.
Yes.
You have ever been my help.
Yes.
Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me, O Lord, my deliverer. Though my father and my mother abandon me,
all right,
the Lord will take me in. Show me your way, O Lord, and lead me on the level path, because of my watchful foes. Ooh. Do not subject me to the will of my foes, for false witnesses and unjust accusers have appeared against me.
Yes.
Had I not the assurance that I would enjoy the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, look to the Lord. Be strong and be of good courage. Oh, look to the Lord. May the Most High add a blessing to the reading and hearing of his most holy word.
Amen, 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 and amen. That's enough right there to keep you in the month of Elul, if you really hear the word. So the song to be read before Rosh Hashanah, why is Psalms 27 an important part of the spiritual preparation for the high holy days?
Yes.
Elul is the month of preparation and shofar blowing. The name of the month has been understood to be an acronym for the Hebrew verse, I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine.
Yes.
During Elul, we read Psalms 27. To David, the light, the Lord is my light, twice daily. This practice is relatively new, evidently some 200 years old, but it is a wise practice, even essential. The first half of the song bespeaks assurance. The songstress, while describing the enemy from a distance, from whom will I be afraid? Approaching as evil men come near, preparing should an army besiege me, and attacking should war come against me.
Yes.
Nevertheless, is calm above all danger, sacrificing and thanking the Lord. The opening structure reflects both the growing threat and its total disappearance.
Yes.
What you say? The opening structure reflects both the growing threat and its total disappearance.
Yes.
So how can you be in a place where you look like you're being attacked from the enemy all around, but all of a sudden it's disappearing because you're walking hand in hand, face to face with the Most High God? David said, I will seek your face. verses increase numerically. Two parallel phrases of 5 words each. Then 6, then 7, that number hinting at completion.
Come on!
Are you ready to walk into 5779?
Yes.
There follows the central word of the song, one. Facing all these threats, the songstress feel the peace of unity.
Yes.
And throughout the first half, the reader sensed no doubt, no real threat. Zenobia. How strange is it that the second half of the song depicts a world so totally opposite? Many scholars even conclude that these are separate songs. Psalms chapter 27 is 2 separate songs. Here we find a desperate search, a constant request, a pleading for the Holy One. Do not hide your face. Do not thrust me aside. Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me. The author is abandoned by parents and surrounded by enemies.
Yes.
What you say?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
The author is abandoned by parents and surrounded by enemies. At the apex of this section, the songstress cries out in agony with a sentence he cannot finish. For it depicts the worst of all. Had I not the assurance, you better come on, Pastor Lucinda, because you up next. Had I not had the assurance that I would enjoy the goodness of the Lord and the land of the living, his faith is his sole remaining thread, connecting him to the land of the living. Ooh, this is so good. This is so good. If he did not have this faith, which is in you now in Hebrew, steadfastness, then, but the two songs are indeed one. Hebrew roots carefully repeat, and the two halves testify to unity.
Amen.
As does the clear inclusion, the name of the Most High God opens and closes the first half.
Yes.
The Lord is my light, or him to the Lord.
Yes.
And the second, hear, O Lord, look to the Lord. Throughout the second half, the reader hears the echo of the central term, one.
Yes.
All right.
The songstress cries out, demands, asks, and pleads that his two worlds are one.
Yes.
Come on.
What you say? The songstress cries out and pleads that his two worlds are one.
Yes. Come on now.
I, the sufferer,
Yes.
depressed to the ultimate limits. And that same I who trusts, who is safe, who sits in the presence of the Lord.
Yes. Come on now.
For us, this is idea preparation.
Come on now. Yes.
Come on, Most High, because he perfects you in the fire. And you don't understand it. Your perfection is taking place as you walk through the fire.
Yes. Come on now.
Before we can approach repentance or the joy of the holy day, we must honestly confront again our faith and belief.
Come on.
Ever since Father Abraham, we have anticipated the rewards of the Most High God's protection.
Yes.
But too often we have seen our trials and tribulations as challenges to our faith.
Come on now.
The songstress testifies once again that love of the Holy One is achieved not by closing one's eyes, but even as with less significant loves, through effort, songs demands oneness. Isn't that what we all want?
Yes.
We want to be one
Yes.
with the community.
Yes.
We want to be one in our relationship. Yes. We want to be one. Isn't that the goal? We want to be one.
That's right. That's it.
The song demands oneness,
Yes.
reflecting an integration of most difficult circumstances together with security.
Yes. Now
Yes.
that's good.
Come on now.
The songstress is a model, puzzle,
Come on.
and challenge to us.
Yes.
For he did not hide from life's trouble on one hand, and yet lives within a framework of faith on the other hand. Oh Lord, reciting this song
This is good.
demands that twice a day we struggle with ourselves in our faith.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, my God.
Lord.
Ourselves. Come on.
In expectation that we will arrive at the days of awe,
Yes.
ready for repentance,
Yes.
ready to celebrate
Yes.
on the holy day with a full heart before the Lord.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, my Lord.
Ooh, this is so good. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Interlude,
Come on. Teach this.
we renew our faith
Yes.
through search.
Come on.
Search yourself.
That's right.
Search yourself.
Yes.
Interlude, we renew our faith through search.
Yes.
As is also reflected in the modern midrash on this song. One have I demanded of the Lord,
Okay.
that I will seek. I seek only that forever. I will demand the one,
Come on.
demand the oneness,
Yes.
demand the unity
Yes.
from the Lord.
Yes.
He's bringing a demand on unification.
Yes.
You will walk as one.
That's right.
That's right.
There's a demand on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Interlude,
Uh-huh.
we renew our faith
Yes.
through search,
Yes.
as is also reflected in the modern midrash on this song. One have I demanded of the Lord, that I shall seek. I seek only that forever. I will demand the one, demand the oneness,
Yes.
demand the unity from the Lord.
That's right.
Be strong,
Uh-huh.
be trusting.
Uh-huh.
Songs and reading Psalms 27 interlude, there is a ritual
Uh-oh.
this time of year that takes a bit more than 50 days.
Come on.
We have been reading a particular song that is not otherwise part of the Seder. Psalms 27 every morning and every night through the month of Elul, and we will continue this until Simchat Torah.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Through our daily reading of Psalms 27. So like the daily counting of the Omer, we make this autumnal period with a lunar narrative of atonement, redemption, and the renewal of the Torah into a second version of the Vet Peshat Shavuot narrative, and gives each year not one but two special sacred settings.
Yes.
What you say?
Yes.
What you say?
Yes.
What you say?
Yes.
Wow.
There is no right or wrong way, only more or less interesting ways of understanding Psalms 27 or any other deep text.
Yes.
How then do I read Psalms 27?
Okay, teach us.
Let's take a look.
Yes. Take a look.
It is first, but not foremost, beautiful poetry.
Yes.
Having even a little Hebrew helps a lot. Because the poetry that lies in the sounds, their renaissance and dissonance gets lost in translation. I'll transliterate the Hebrew when necessary. Otherwise, I refer to this translation to the Jewish Publication Society's 1999 Tanakh. David was a king of many voices and moods. And we know that because David had to encourage himself.
Yes.
David was a king of many voices and moods. And right now, I feel like I got many voices and moods. I'm smiling one minute, I'm down the next, I'm crying. I'm like, what the world? It's a motherfucker. I read this entire Psalms as a stream of thought in David's head, not as a spoken or written text until the last line, 14. Where I see and hear a vocal outburst that summarizes the whole song.
Come on now.
To my eye, the song breaks into 5 silent stigmas before then, each with its own emotional tone. Wow! Line 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 10, 11 and 12 and 13. The stanza gets shorter as the poet's introspective mood gets at once more agitated and elevated. How you agitated and elevated? Ooh, Lord.
Come on.
So that when the last line comes, an astonishing optimism breaks through the dark clouds of David's self-doubt and the silent inner circle that oscillates him between the intensity of personal prayer and the relief of communion worship.
All right.
Psalms 27 falls completely on the side of the personal. It is profoundly moving, even disturbing, in its ability to convey an inner voice and intimate communication with the Most High. Certainly, it is the right time for us to be given this chance to hear David as he struggles.
Yes, Lord.
It is a daily reminder of this obligation we are all under this time of the year to get past our cleverness and confess our own hidden thoughts and secret actions to the Most High. As Moshe says in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 29, Ha Nasu La, the Most High, concealed acts concern the Lord our God. So while you think you concealing some things, the Most High is looking right in your face.
Amen. Come on.
Like confessions at any other time of the year, fully feeling the meaning of this song, while theoretically possible at another time, might just be too painful outside of this special 7th of the year.
Come on.
Ooh, Lord. Verses 1 through 3. Here David is someone trying to convince himself of something he wishes he could believe. The very first words, the beginning line, set a high standard for the density and depth, even for a song of David. The Most High is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?
Come on now.
It is a great example of the distinctions we are supposed to seek. And the words look and sound enough alike to make each illuminate the other. But then in line 2, the fear breaks through. What you say?
Come on now.
But then in line 2, the fear breaks through. When evil men assail me to devour my flesh, they will stumble and fall. devour my flesh. Maybe a hyperbole, maybe not. In any event, line 3 concludes that even so, in this I will still trust. That is, that David would trust in the Most High salvation, no matter what.
Yes.
Lines 4 through 6. Here David daydreams. Here David daydreams. He will live in the house of the Lord. The Most High will shelter him, rise him up high. All will be well, better than well.
Yes.
My head is held high over my enemies surrounding me.
Yes.
How then will David rejoice with sacrifice in the Most High's tents, with shouts and with singing and chantings of him to the Most High? 3 possessive words now snap into sharp focus. My flesh surrounding me, my sacrifice intended to be read every morning at prayer. Even today, we repeat that of the Kohen, where to take the blood of the animal sacrifice at the temple in Jerusalem and dash it upon the altar. All around the daydream teasers on the edge of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Is David dreaming of being sacrificer or the sacrifice? Oh, Lord. Verses 7 through 10. Another jump in the narrative. Away with the daydream. Back to reality. David calls to the Most High and cries that he is not sure his call is heard. And who of us does not know that feeling? Here in the words in English and in the Hebrew conveys panic and fright with blunt force. Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me. Do not hide your face from me. Nothing subtle here, nor particularly poetic. All right now. The worst fears break through line 10.
Come on.
The Most High,
Yes.
though my father and my mother abandon me,
Yes.
the Most High will take me in.
Yes.
Given the previous 2 lines, do we really think David is certain of this?
Yes.
I am told by good friends that the root of Yahweh is to receive in order to guide or teach.
Yes.
And that the line should be read as saying that even if I am so rotten that my parents give up on me, the Most High will find a way for me to become a good person.
Yes.
I wish I could feel the force of that interpretation. But that is not the effect this line has on me. Oh, Lord. Lines 11 through 12. David pulls himself together.
Come on now.
Y'all better come on in the mud of Elul. David pulls himself together and tries to focus on difficulties at hand. False accusers surround me. And his head is not as all held high above them. He needs a way out and asks the Most High to show him that path. Past his watchful focus. You better come on!
Come on.
These 2 lines are reasonable, practical, and altogether different from anything that has come before. It is as if David has snapped to attention, seen that time is short, and gotten to the point. But there is no answer. You better come on.
Come on now.
Line 13.
Okay.
The strain of the Most High silence is too much. The strain of the Most High silence is too much.
Yes.
Back to the daydream. Had I not the assurance, come on, David.
Yes.
You gotta come on, David.
Yes.
Had I not the assurance that I would enjoy the goodness of the Most High
Hallelujah.
and the land of the living, because we Most High, oh Lord, in the Hebrew, Louis, is surrounded by the sort of dots that mark of a word troublesome to the keeper of this text 1,000 years ago, and rightly so. This is a wholly ambiguous line.
Come on now.
The Anchor Bible translates Louis, L-U-L-E-I, as the victor based on logistics, overlap with other cultures.
Yes.
But to me, this line is simply David in a voice of great anxiety.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
What, for instance, are we to make of the land of the living? Is that this world, the world to come, the land of Israel, David is as broken
My Lord.
as this line is broken.
Yes.
He is not sure that he's going to survive
It's true. Come
this
on.
moment.
Yes,
Come on.
yes.
This is so good. This is everything we talked about yesterday.
Yes.
David is not sure
Yes, Lord.
that he's going to survive this moment.
Okay.
Line 14.
Come on.
The mood shifts again.
Keep it real.
Dramatically.
Yes.
David will not give up in God.
Come on, girl.
What you say?
Yes.
Line 14. The mood shifts
Yes.
again.
Come on.
Dramatically.
Yes.
David will not give up and die. He remembers Brett, the beginning between the Most High and his
Come on.
and our ancestors, and know he will prevail.
Right.
My Lord.
This is so good.
Here comes the most powerful line in the Psalms, and perhaps the most dense line I have ever come across anywhere.
Come on now.
Oh Lord. And the Most High, make yourself strong
Uh-huh.
and give your heart courage
Give your
and hope in the Most
Yes.
High. This line is all by itself a circle.
Yes. Come on now.
What you say? We about to get a new beginning and a rebirth?
Yes.
Come on.
This line is all by itself a circle.
Yes.
The tightest of the circles I have come across in our ritual. The circle that is the Brit beginning. From the very beginning of the book of Joshua.
Yes.
The Most High tells Joshua, be strong and resolute.
Yes.
Many times, and of course, Joshua is. And so we are alive today as Hebrews.
All right.
But do we really think that this strength is what won the day of Joshua or for us? Psalms 27 teaches us. Instead, what the entire narrative of these days
Yes.
from Silicate through Simcatora
Yes.
teaches us that as Hebrews, we are to hope in the Most High.
Come on now.
And then we are to do everything we can to strengthen ourselves as if we were wholly left to our own faith.
Yes.
And then we are to continue to hope in the Most High, despite having acted as if we were wholly on our own. That's all we can do for our side of the Brit,
This is so
the
good.
beginning. The Most High will respond to us in ways neither David
Uh-huh.
nor I,
Uh-huh.
nor you
Uh-huh.
can know, nor need to
You
know.
don't even need to know.
What you say?
That ain't your concern.
Yes.
Come on.
Come on.
This is
Why
so good.
say La David Hashem or Psalms 27?
All right.
during the month of Elul.
This is so
Psalms 27 begins
you,
with the
Most High.
words to David, the Most High is my light and my salvation.
Break this down.
The Midrash tells us that my light is associated with Rosh Hashanah.
Come on. Break it down. And what?
The Midrash tells us that my light is associated with Rosh Hashanah. And my salvation is associated with Yom Kippur.
Keep going.
Come on. Yes.
We also find that a later verse in the Psalms that he will hide me in his tabernacle is associated with Sukkot.
Yes.
Yet the custom of reciting this song from Rosh Hashanah, Elul, until the last day of Sukkot does not appear for well over 1,000 years later. The earliest mention of this custom seems to be published in 1706.
All right.
It is said that one who recites this song in a state of holiness,
Keep going.
purity, and great concentration will have his prayers answered. And that it has the power to nullify divine decrees. What you say? Another explanation is that this is a time of divine mercy.
Yes. That's right. Yes.
As it was when Moses achieved forgiveness for the people after the sin of the golden calf. Every year, it is the time when the Most High is especially accessible.
Accessible.
Yes.
Accessible. Come on, teach.
Like a king who goes out to the field
Yes.
to make himself available
Yes.
to any subjects he wish to greet him. As seen in the narrative of Moses, time on high, securing forgiveness. A key element of the Most High's mercy is the phrase known as the 13 attributes of mercy.
Yes.
Appropriately, the Most High's name is mentioned 13 times in this song.
Wow.
That's the reason why it's called the 13 attributes of mercy.
Ooh, that's so good.
When to recite it? During which prayers is this song to be recited? Some recite it after the morning and afternoon prayers. A common custom for some to say it after the morning and evening prayers. There are also various customs regarding when exactly it is to be said in the prayer service. The general premise is that we recite it as long as we are being delivered for the new year.
Yes.
Thus, some have the custom to say it until Yom Kippur, the day when Moses secured complete forgiveness. However, others continue through Shemini Haaretz or Simchat Torah. The Chabad custom is to recite it until Hoshana Rabbah, since that is when the judgment is sealed. Since the customs are numerous, each individual and community should embrace their unique traditions.
Yes.
In the sincere hope that we all be inscribed and sealed for a sweet new year.
Yes.
Amen, 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 and amen. Oh, Lord. Hallelujah. Ooh, Lord. Hallelujah. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Ooh, wee. Who Most High? I thank you for your word, for understanding of Psalms 27, for understanding the month of Elul, all the way to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, that we understand your feast days.
Yes.
And that this is a complete circle because you operate in cycles. So let the cycle begin all over again as you rebirth us in 5779. Amen, 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 and amen. All right, pastors. Woo, she looking like, All right, pastors. This was a complete
Yes, it was.
teaching. It was a word to look at yourself. It was a word to do an inspection on
So
yourself.
good.
It was a word of correction.
Yes.
It was an ouch word, because I know it hit every last one of
Oh,
us.
you know it.
Yes.
You know it.
So I'm thankful for where we are right now on day 14, double sevens. He gonna complete you.
Oh, my Lord.
He said the work that I started in you, I will complete it.
Thank you, Most High.
All right. Come on.
Whew. I want y'all to open y'all books to Psalms chapter 27. Because I did not even know this myself, and so I'm going to put it to the test.
Okay.
He said that his name is mentioned 13 times in this
13
chapter. I need y'all to count with me as I read. And I'm going to close this thing out. Amen.
Amen. And the 13 attributes of mercy.
We're going to have Minister T will come up here. 13 attributes. You got 13 attributes of mercy?
That's what it's
Thank
13
you,
times.
Father.
His name is 13 times. The Lord, the mighty Lord. That's
Okay.
his 13. Mhm. What is, what scripture is that? 13 attributes. Oh, Lord. So good.
Right.
So good.
This is so good.
We done did
Exodus 34.
Exodus 34.
13 times, right?
It says 30. It says 13 times in it, so we're going to count
We're gonna
together
count
on
it.
this one.
Wow.
Everybody ready?
34, yep.
Let the church say amen. Are we ready?
Woo.
Amen.
All right. The Most High is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? That's number one. The Most High is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? That's number two. When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart would not fear. Though war break out against me, even then will I be confident. One thing I ask from the Most High, that's number 4. This only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Most High all the days of my life. That's number 5. To gaze on the beauty of the Most